Hey guys, hope you're having a good week. This is Robert Adams from the Adams Family Real Estate Services, brokered by eXp Realty. And today we're talking about an article that I saw in the Orange County Register that kind of made me think a little bit. They do a column about every couple of weeks under the headline of Bubble Watch. And I remember reading that back in 2008, wondering like everybody else was, are we in a real estate bubble? And I remember it was early in 2008, and they're talking about there is no real estate bubble, and now is a great time to go out and buy a house. And then 2 weeks later, we came really close to having ATM machines that would not spit out money anymore. Mortgage liquidity dried up, so you couldn't get a loan, and nobody's house could sell because no one can get a mortgage, and the rest is history. We started the Great Recession of 2008. So whenever I see Bubble Watch in the register, I always take a minute and read it. And this week's article got my attention for a couple of reasons. It opened up saying that 5.5% of all California mortgages are delinquent. Now, does that mean that they've missed one payment? Does that mean they've missed 10 payments? Does that mean they're delinquent but not in forbearance? And they classify forbearance as different than delinquencies? Or is that delinquency include people in forbearances? We don't know. The other part of that is interesting to me is that they talk about 5.5% of all California mortgages being delinquent. About 40% of the mortgages that are held nationwide are held by entities that do not have to report their delinquencies. They're owned by private equity firms or non-bank servicers, people that are sort of outside of the realm of having to report. So that 5.5% could potentially be 5.5% plus 40% more than that. We really don't know, but I can tell you that that number is most likely higher since 40% of the mortgages are not reported. So, we've got that information. I read through the article a little more, and here's the part that really got my attention, and this is why we're talking today. The article proceeded to say that in February of this year, so February meaning before COVID started, before all the businesses were shut down, before all that stuff happened, 1.8% of all California mortgages were delinquent. And in a historically healthy real estate market, like maybe a year or two ago, a healthy number of mortgage delinquencies is about 1%. So if you look at any up market we've had or any normal market we have, about 1 in 100 homes for sale in any particular area is in foreclosure, or it's a short sale or some sort of distressed type sale. So if 1% is normal, we are at 1.8%, almost double that number before COVID even started. So, and once again, that number is probably artificially low because, like I said before, 40% of the loan servicers out there don't have to report, their numbers. So what does this all mean? Well, there's probably 100 different experts. They'll give you 100 different opinions. Bubble Watch, of course, will tell you there's nothing wrong with the market and it's a great time to buy. But, what does that mean? That means to me that the real estate market in Orange County was already softening before all this COVID stuff started. And now that COVID has started, now that our economy's been shut down for probably the better part of 6 months now, I mean, you can't even go get a haircut for gosh sakes. You can't go sit down and have a beer in a restaurant. Those people that were already in trouble before all this started are probably not going to see a big windfall of money, and they're still going to be in trouble. And now you have all the people who have not been able to earn an income for 6 months, or maybe have had their jobs eliminated, or maybe their companies have been eliminated. So we're going into some interesting times. And unfortunately, I think there's going to be some pain involved before things get better. And, on a side note from that, even without COVID, traditionally we see a recessionary period in real estate every 10 years, and it's been about 10 years since we started breaking out of the last one. So I think you've got a bunch of things converging at once. You've got your regular cyclical, real estate cycle, and then you've got COVID-19 that shut our country down for, the better part of 6 months. And I'm still not sure when you're going to be able to go into a bar or a restaurant or, get a haircut because they haven't even, started talking about that, or a kid's going back to school. So that's all I've got for today. Some numbers for you to think about. And I look forward to seeing you all next week, and we'll talk about something else. Thanks for watching.